They are not the typical endgame of any high school wrestling campaign. Perfect seasons and state championships are mythical, seemingly unattainable goals within the sport. An outlier that serves to motivate the best practitioners to try to evoke even the best of themselves. The wrestling equivalent of trying to find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That any ninth grader could achieve those ends in his debut varsity season is nearly inconceivable on premise. But if a specific freshman could, that it would be Palmyra's Collin Arch to do so might be the least surprising development of the 2020 Tri-State MAT season, at least to anyone who's been paying attention. Admittedly, the world of youth wrestling is its own unique niche, and unless you're a parent involved, the amount of intel out there as to who's the next great area grappler isn't all that front and center. But even those on the periphery of the sport have been hearing about the legend of the Arch brothers for almost a decade now. They are, in fact, the primary reason the Palmyra program came into existence at the high school level. Ross Arch's scintillating debut, right from the jump, including a 2019 state championship, seemed to justify that decision. It paved the way not only for his younger brother, but for an entire rising tradition to emerge for kids who previously didn't have a winner option beyond basketball and high school sports. Powered this year for the first time by two Arch brothers, that same nascent program, just 4 years old, became a recognized state power in very short order. The Panthers jumped into the state rankings and spent much of the winter as a top 5 ranked force in Missouri Class 1 wrestling. With first Ross and then very quickly Collin lording atop the state weight class rankings from the beginning of the year. For the younger Arch, it was a function of rumor more than actual performance that initially fueled his high school rankings rise. Educated scuttlebutt from folks who really know the sport saying that if you think Ross is amazing, just wait until you catch his little brother on the mat. Such an expectation level was probably unfair and ridiculous based on that, right until Collin spent the entirety of this winter proving it legitimate. The rare case where the man actually exceeded the myth building. The perfect 47-0 run through the year, the 27 total wins by fall, the ridiculous ease with which Collin dispatched the top end of the 120-pound Class 1 state bracket, winning by 15 to zip tech fall in the semifinals before breezing to a 12-2 major victory against Ross Critton of Gallatin in the biggest and most important match of his life. And because it came so naturally and seemingly effortlessly, a new level of Collin Arch myth-making has begun. Could Palmyra win a state team title within the first 5 years of its existence? Are the Arches destined to become the greatest brother act in all of Tri-State history? No small affair given their predecessors. Could Collin Arch win 3 more state titles, or even go 4 years on the mat without ever tasting defeat? Again, these are seemingly impossible outcomes that Collin Arch's early greatness has made suddenly feel perhaps attainable. Whether he gets there or not remains to be seen. But what a fun and historic ride it should prove to be for all of us to follow along. One that could well drum up an invigorated and even more widespread interest in the sport itself. Because nothing sells in tri-state sports like the possibility of true and rare greatness. If Collin Arch's wrestling debut is any advance indication, such an era appears to be upon us right now.